How's it going, guys? I got some TCGO for you. It is my Articuno Garbodor deck versus the dream matchup that this deck longs and craves for. It happens to be a Darkrai Hydreigon deck. If you guys aren't familiar with what Garbodor does, Garbodor's ability is that when it has a tool attached to it, it shuts down all other abilities, meaning Darkrai does not get to free treat, Hydreigon does not get to move around the energies, and Articuno is just free to paralyze stuff as it wishes. But I actually recorded this in a lower resolution because I had to stream it in a lower resolution. I can't be full screen and looking at the stream chat at the same time, so it's a little bit lower quality, but you can still kind of read what's going on to an extent. You should be able to notice what is going on just based on the text that you're noticing. I don't know how bad this is going to come out, but he does have a Mewtwo on his side of the field. I just decided to laser it, and I'm actually going to play my hand down a decent amount. I believe I just decided to Ultra Ball away the Juniper and the Skyla, if I am not mistaken, in order to get myself an Emolga, so I can go ahead and call for family and get some better stuff going on. But I'm going to switch my Articuno out of the active spot, and then this way I'm only really out a switch and a catcher. But the hand I get here definitely makes up for it, because I do get a second Articuno out. I get to play down a Veerbank, so he does take an extra 20 damage from that. And I get to call for family, which technically does 30, thanks to the fact that he's poisoned with the Veerbank in play. So it's not bad. I get some more pokes in play. I'm noticing right now that I only have another Trubbish and I believe another Articuno. So that means I do have a fourth Articuno in the prize cards and a third Trubbish in the prize cards as well. So not a lot of Pokemon in this deck. I just have Emolga to get him out. I have Articunos, max on those, and then Trubbish. I think I'm running a 3-2 line on it. I probably could afford to run 3-3. I don't know if I have a third one online, though, which is probably why I don't have it. But I do still have... I don't have a tool on any of the Trubbishes yet, so the abilities are not going to be locked down at this time. But my opponent, all he's going to do is just drop a Dark Energy on the Mewtwo, and that, I think, is basically going to do it for him. He really can't do much else at this point. I do have an N. I drew into that. I don't really have a choice. I'm just kind of hoping he doesn't have a good hand that he's just kind of sitting on. Or, no, I do have a good hand that he's sitting. I hope that he has a good hand that he's sitting on so I can N him out of it. But the way I'm seeing it right now, he didn't play anything else in that turn, so I'm kind of thinking his hand kind of sucks, which is why I feel bad doing that, but my hand isn't really anything fantastic either. I don't like getting Plasma Energies in my hand because I cannot Colress Machine from my hand. It has to be from the deck. So the fact that I drew into two of them means that I'll have to manually attach to them if I want them to be anything good. So... right now, I'm not really feeling too hot about what I got going on right now. Emolga is just going to be here as dead weight. If I really want, I could Scramble Switch off of it to get another energy onto something else, but I feel like that's kind of a waste of a Scramble Switch. Articuno doesn't really like Mewtwo, so I feel like that A-Spec could be put to better use. As soon as an Articuno takes a hit when it's fully powered up from a Mewtwo, it's got a couple of energy on it. That will do 120 in that matchup, so I can afford to switch out of there and then Frost Prison, just kind of go from there. But I'm noticing right here that he is Darkrai Hydreigon, but he should know what Garbodor does, and as such, he should probably respond to one of these Garbodors just by catching it and knocking it out with an X-Ball would be the appropriate play right here. I don't know, or I don't remember if he gets a catcher in this turn. I took this live, so I'm doing some funky stuff with the mouse every now and then, and I was kind of talking to the chat as well. I decided not to keep the live commentary because I was kind of quiet, and it was just filled with me being like, are you kidding, look at the garbage I'm drawing, etc., etc. I recorded 2.5 hours of TCG, and I really 3 games out of it, and then the other recordings just weren't too hot. But he just opts to free treat right there because he's not paralyzed anymore, and he's going to get rid of the poison as well because it really is racking up a little bit on his Mewtwo. Now, I want to get the ability shut off to keep the energy locked into place as soon as possible. That would be great. So I normally don't like tossing Plasma Energy, but in order to get a better hand off of Bianca, I'm gonna have to Ultra Ball him away. But I think I make a mix between the two plays I was thinking of, Ultra Balling down my hand in order to play Bianca, and that was weird right there that I got rid of Bianca and a Plasma Energy. It also looks like that there aren't any Pokemon left in my deck anymore, so just playing Ultra Balls just getting rid of stuff, and yeah. I think I decided to catcher in that Mewtwo just on the off chance that I will be able to get some Chorus Machines going on right here. Turns out I don't get either of them. But I can put the Eviolite down on a Garbodor in order to lock that energy in place where it is right now, so he can't, like, Hydreigon into it and then just Dark Trance onto the active Mewtwo, that kind of thing. So, Emolga's safe for now. I don't see him doing anything about that. And that's what I got. In the meantime, I got 2 Full Art Cuties sitting in my hand right next to each other. I think I'm going to try to play my hand down a little bit more, just get rid of stuff in my hand. It is valuable resources, but I would like to draw into something a little bit better. And why I don't run Colress in this deck is absolutely beyond me. I kind of feel like Bianca works out a little bit better because you just draw into better stuff. But there have been some situations where I found, like, okay, I've got a lot of Articunos in play, and the opponent has a lot of Pokemon in play because they're stuck there because they can't get free treat on them or anything like that. But the thing is that, well, shit, I don't know. I really don't know why I don't run at least 1 or 2 Choruses in this deck. It could benefit from time to time because Emolga's going to be a given on the field. And then Garbodor 1 or 2 is going to be a thing that's going to be on the field as well. Possibly 1 to 2 Articuno. So that's like 5 guaranteed on the field. 3 absolute minimum. So right here, I was worried about whether or not I was going to have to burn off one of those switches with the Ultra Ball, but it turns out I have to burn it off in general because he catchers it in. So right here, I can Ultra Ball away a catcher and a Skyla. I do want to hang on to my switches just in case he brings another Garbodor, and I'm going to go ahead and Bianca for 5. So not a big payoff on that one. I just realized I'm narrating this in regular speed. I'm just going to go with it because it was kind of a short game. But it just gives us time it gives me time to explain what's going on because it's just in kind of a low res right now. But I laser the Mewtwo hoping for the sleep because my Articuno isn't ready to go yet. I don't get it. That's fine if he wants to attach a 3rd energy onto that Mewtwo in order to knock out my Emolga. That's kind of cool too. I don't run Mewtwo. That's what I just said. I don't run a Mewtwo. I don't run a Mewtwo in this deck. Let me just finish that train wreck of a sentence. There's no Mewtwo's in this deck, so he doesn't have to worry about putting down a 3rd energy on that and then just being revenged by like a DCE X-Ball situation. That's not something that would happen with this deck. But the thing I mentioned about Articuno not liking Mewtwo, it does take 4 energy in order to run an Articuno at maximum efficiency. Mewtwo needs 2 energy, so the minimum you're going to see between an Articuno and a Mewtwo is 6, meaning that's 120 damage on me. It gets 2-hit KO'd very easily, even with the Eviolite, so not a lot I can do about that. But he decides to catch her up. I honestly thought he was going to catch her up my Articuno with energy on it. He opts to just take out the Garbodor that has an Eviolite on it, even though I have a Garbodor with a Rescue Scarf on it. That's fine by me too, because 1 Garbodor's down, I got another one to go. And I went the entire match thinking that I was going to be able to Super Rod it back in. I can't, because I don't run Super Rods in this deck. I feel like I should run at least 1 if I'm not going to run 3-3 on the Garby line. I kind of feel like I should be running a Super Rod anyway, just to put the Water Energy and maybe the Articunos back in. I don't know. I don't run a lot for everybody in this deck. What do I have going on here? So he X-Balls for knockout. That's cool. He gets first blood in this matchup, but I will get the knockout on his Mewtwo at the end of this turn because he chose to attack instead of retreat, which is not bad. So I have a Plasma Energy in hand. I choose to N out, though, because if I get a Colress Machine, like I just did right now, I can Colress Machine and have that be a special energy attachment and have the Water Energy be my regular attachment. And all of a sudden, that Articuno on the bench is ready to go for shenanigans. I also pulled the Laser, which is the best hand I could have ever possibly hoped for. I also have an N just to be able to get a fresh hand after this. So I'm going to go ahead and attach a Water Energy and then Chorus Machine for that. I don't know. Oh, right. So I got a second Chorus Machine in my hand. That's what that was about. So I'm not going to go in with Articuno, though, because he is going to die to poison. I opt to call for family, and then I forgot again that I have no more Pokemon, but there was not really much of another way to take advantage of that situation unless I wanted to go in and Blizzard and get 10 damage on everything, which I feel the only way that would have ended up working out for me like any better is if I got a 10 extra damage on Mewtwo, then I would have been able to knock it out with 2 Frost Prisons instead of 3. So in hindsight, yeah, they're that was a thing I could have done, but in all honesty, I just kind of feel like leaving in the Emolga in the active just forces him to have a catcher in order to laser it and to do that stuff. So why put a Pokemon in danger when it doesn't need to be in danger just yet? And then this man does something weird. He plays Sky Arrow in a Darkrai Hydreigon deck. I feel like if you're that worried about Garbodor, you should probably be running Tool Scrapper. And if you're that worried about Veerbank, you should probably be running Battle City. Or maybe even Pokemon Center, but Sky Arrow in a Darkrai deck is just a really silly idea to me. I can't think of any benefit it has whatsoever, because I mean Keldeo, even rush treating, as long as it has a dark energy attached to it, is still fine. So here's a cool thing right here. I just get to, I believe, retreat into my Articuno at this point. Do I N? I think I N. So just getting myself a fresh hand right here. I do have a Scramble switch, which is really nice, and I'm hanging on to this Veerbank for whatever reason. I don't have a reason to hang on to it, and it actually ends up biting me in the ass, I believe, not on this turn, but the next one, that I don't play it down just because I was kind of waiting for a laser. I was like, I don't know. The Sky Arrow just kind of benefits Articuno as well. So maybe I was thinking about doing something with that. I don't know. But I get to Blizzard right now, so I get to put that 10 on the Mewtwo. But I think the Mewtwo has a Giant Cape anyways. So that thing I said earlier just is kind of moot. And then just getting an extra damage counter on it would just effectively just get rid of the Giant Cape. So not much thing there. So get to go, or get to take a prize. Turns out to be a Water Energy. The Scramble Switch in hand is really nice, just because I do get to Scramble Switch out into the other Articuno. I get to see his prize cards. He gets to see his prize cards. He has one Darkrai prize. Then he also has a Sharon, 2 Psychic Energies, and a Dark. So he's running kind of a funky spread. I would definitely be running blends instead of the Psychic Energies. I don't know if he just doesn't have them or whatever, but that's better because Hydreigon can still move them around, and it still fills the requirement for Dragon Blast. I just get the feeling that this man's deck is not 100% up to speed, just because I don't know. But Mewtwo doesn't have any energy on it. All of a sudden, he just drops a DCE. Okay, forget I said that. I was 90% sure I got attacked on this turn. I just didn't know how he was going to do it. That one lone Garby is the dam, so to speak, between victory and defeat, I kind of want to say, just because it would enable free treating and stuff and moving around of the energies onto Mewtwo just to appropriately do all that stuff. I think I'm building up that Articuno on the right, and I'm going to Scramble Switch to the one on the left just to preserve the amount of energy I have going on. So Scramble Switching, I do know that the one on the bench is now open to a catcher play, but honestly, that's fine by me as long as I'm Frost Prisoning with a fresh one. So Garbodor's nice here, in case we haven't seen the strategy for what's going on yet. It prevents him from using Keldeo to rush in, and if it's in a scenario where Darkrai's, what am I trying to say here? Anything else, it prevents rush treating with Keldeo and Darkrai to get rid of paralysis, because if a Keldeo were to rush in, it would be able to get rid of the paralysis and then retreat for free with Darkrai's Dark Cloak. Thanks to Garbodor, they are both shut off, and his energy is still locked in place right now. So that one Darkrai is what it's going to be all about for him right now. Looking at his discard pile, I think that was his discard pile. He could Dark Patch. I don't know if he just hasn't drawn into any, which is kind of surprising me that his deck is, well, not his deck, but I guess his hand is kind of dead right now. And that's all I really feel that I need to talk about. So if I get a laser on this next turn, that could be pretty sweet, because I could just end up just lasering and then Frost Prisoning. But it turns out that he switches right here and just goes into this thing, I believe. Oh, the reason that Veerbank bites me in the ass right now is because now that Sky Arrow is in play, he can just attach one and retreat and attack my Articuno again. So me kind of waiting for a laser on that one was really stupid. Kids, don't do that. If your stadium is not in play, play it as soon as you have it, because it's just kind of silly. But he can, yeah. Oh, he just opts to escape rope. anyways, which I'm totally fine with because it's not a catcher. I get to pick what I send out, and it might as well just be Emolga. So if he has a catcher in hand and he wants a catcher in my other Articuno, which I think is what he ends up doing, that's fine. I'm going to force him to waste a catcher. Otherwise, right now, he just hits me for 60. Now I get my Veer Bank and my Laser, which is great, because now I get to go into either Articuno. All of the Articunos with energy are still protected. They don't have any damage on them. Sky Arrow Bridge is gone. Why he had it is absolutely beyond me. 4 Articunos on the field is a beautiful, beautiful sight. But I get to go for a Laser, which kind of compensates for the fact that he has a Giant Cape on, and now it acts like he doesn't. So I believe I highlight his HP right here just to make sure that I will get the kill, because my mental math is kind of weird with all the tokens going on. But he has 100 HP left. Frost Prison is going to do 80, and the Poison is going to pick up the slack. So I was kind of wondering whether or not I could have like Blizzarded and then just gotten 10 on everything else, and then the Poison would finish him off, but that's not how it would work out. It would leave him with 10, and that would be absolutely pointless. But I get 2 more prizes off of that, one being a Colress Machine, one being an Eviolite. Eviolite is nice in this matchup because it makes it so Night Spear only does 70 on each one, enabling me to take 2 before I am knocked out, as opposed to 1 and then done. That kind of thing. Eviolite's in here for Garbodor, too. On that same note, I could be playing Giant Cape, but which would also let me live a, what is it, Dark Claw boosted Night Spear. So something to think about, but I'm probably just going to end up running Floatstone, period, when the next set comes out. Because Giant Cape's cool, but Floatstone, just like, congratulations, Garbodor can no longer be trapped in the active spot. Wonderful. I get the feeling Scrapper is going to come back in a big way, though. And he ends me down to 1. That's fine by me, to be honest. It turns out I get a Skyla anyway. The play I wanted to make was I wanted to Skyla for a catcher. I don't remember if I had another catcher. I feel like I might have missed it. So he Night Spears, knocks out the Articuno. That's fine. He's getting the score kind of there. And I think this is a 3-prize turn for him. This was actually kind of big because he gets rid of the 1 Articuno taking 2 prizes, and he gets rid of the Emolga, which needed just 10 more damage on it in order to get knocked out. So 2 for an EX, 1 for an Emolga, puts the score at 1-2 or 2-1, however you want to say it. Whatever the case, it's my lead by 1 prize. Unfortunately, he only needs 1 more EX knockout to win, but fortunately, the Articunos that are going to be attacking are still good on HP. So I'm going to Skyla right here. I believe I try to get a catcher, and then it turns out that I don't have it. I looked at the discard pile, I think, immediately after this, and I think it said I had 3 catchers in there. So if I'm only running 3 catchers in this deck, I don't know why that's a thing. But since my Garby already has an item, I figure I might as well just put an Eviolite on that, on the off chance that he has more escape ropes or whatever. That could be a thing, but I feel like Escape Rope is in here just because he doesn't have any Keldeos in this deck. That's cool too, I guess. He's locked down for now. The funny thing is that Dino is still sitting on the bench, unable to do anything. Because, I mean, if he evolves it, that turns into instant catcher bait. The thing's got a retreat cost of like 3? I think it's 3. So right now it just has a retreat cost of 1. So if he catches it up, he's trying to keep things relatively light. That and he's running Sharon. I don't know how I feel about Sharon in general. I feel like in Darkrai decks with like Dark Patch and not freaking Sableye and Junk Hunting and all that stuff, Bicycle would be better, and then you could just Ultra Ball away stuff to lower your hand down, Bicycle into 4 cards, and then just like Junk Hunt to get some more stuff. You know, does that make any sense? I feel like I see Bicycle more than I see Sharon. Whatever. Darkrai's in here. If Garbodor was not in effect, this would open up a play where he could just retreat and then Night Spear and then just go from there. But because Garbodor is in play, he has to attach another energy just to retreat. How you like them apples? I also draw a switch, which is really nice in case he decides to catch her in my Garbodor. But right now, the clock on the game is basically counting down to the point where I just need to knock out one of these Darkrai's and I win. I've set up damage on 2 of them. If he wants to retreat to another one to try to stall for time, I think that honestly probably could have been a thing, maybe, if he catchered in. I don't know if this guy even has any catchers in his deck. I feel like he's just got the EXs from tins and stuff, And he got a Hydreigon, and he's like, let's put it together, and it's kind of good, but, like, kind of not still, because he doesn't have all the right items going on for it. I don't know. That thing's still paralyzed. Whatever the case, I'm still taking advantage of the fact that he has abilities. At the end of the day, this is just another Darkrai matchup that got shit on by Garbodor. And that's fantastic news to me. So he's going to Juniper away a lot of stuff. It turns out he did have blends in his deck, and he also just has straight psychics in his deck too. Okay. Right. I don't know why he didn't set those down earlier, because those are nice for Mewtwo and Darkrai. This is looking like beginning of Dark Explorers kind of deck, which is kind of funny. What do we have going on here? I can just Frost Prison again, lock him down again. Then this forces him to have a switch, if I'm not mistaken. So if he doesn't have a switch or an escape rope or something like that, if he catches into my Garbodor and then just switches out, then yeah, he could have an opportunity here. But I don't think he does. I think he ends me right here, come to think of it. I feel like that's something that he did. So he puts a Dark Claw on it. It's not going to attack this turn unless he gets... Honestly, I don't even care. Like that other Darkrai on the bench has enough energy to attack and that stuff. I just lost a lot of motivation to finish this game because y'all already know how this works out. He ends me down. He gets 2 cards. I get 1. Turns out I get a switch. So if he like escape ropes, no. Even if he escape ropes, I would have just gotten my other Articuno. I don't know what I'm saying. And that's it. So I'm just gonna Frost Prison, and that's gonna be game. Turns out my last prize was my 3rd Trubbish. So I don't know what's the deal with like not. I don't think I run 4 catchers in this deck. I don't know why. I feel like that might have been error putting it all together. But that was nice. That was a game. That was TCGO for the day. I really got to get some other battles together because today's matches were kind of, I don't know, just not the best. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you are more than welcome to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe, and do your thing. And I think that should do it. So I will see you guys on the next one. Oh, we got a challenge. I actually played that guy earlier in the stream. I feel like I'll upload that on Tuesday. And then that's just me doing random shit. So, yeah, goodbye.